My first Cycle Wari, Pune to Pandharpur, 210 kilometers of faith, fitness, and endurance. Today I'm taking you along on one of the most memorable cycling experiences of my life. My first ever Cycle Wari from Pune to Pandharpur. A journey of over 210 kilometers, riding through the night, battling scorching heat, enjoying the company of fellow cyclists, and finally reaching Pandharpur in time for the Divine Tulsi Aarti. The early start. The day started very early. I tried my best to sleep early around 9 p.m. because I knew a very long day awaited me. But as often happens before a big event, excitement and nervousness got the better of me. For one reason or another, I couldn't get proper sleep. Still, somehow I managed to get up around 2 am, got ready, checked my gear one final time, and rolled out from home at around 2:45 in the morning. The roads were completely empty, the city was asleep, and the adventure had begun. Meeting the team. I reached Hadapsar around 3:15 am, where the rest of the gang was already gathering. After depositing my luggage and completing the formalities, we exchanged a few greetings, checked our bikes, clicked a few pictures, and finally began our ride at around 3:30 am. There is something magical about cycling before sunrise. The roads are peaceful, the air is cool, and your legs feel fresh. For the first few hours, everything felt perfect. First refreshment stop, 30 kilometers. After covering around 30 kilometers, we reached our first refreshment stop at around 5 am. And what better way to start the day than with hot upma and chai? The food tasted amazing. Maybe it was because of the early start, maybe because we had already earned it, or maybe because everything tastes better during a long ride. After refueling ourselves, we got back on the bikes. Hydration break 50 kilometers. Another 20 kilometers later, around 6:30 am, we reached our next hydration point. Quick water refill, electrolytes, stretching, and then back on the road. At this point, we still had nearly 150 kilometers left. The journey had only just begun. Sunrise and breakfast. The next section was absolutely beautiful. We witnessed a stunning sunrise, cool breeze, open roads, and the excitement of the day ahead. After another 20 kilometers, we reached the breakfast stop around 7:30 am. We enjoyed poha and shira, refilled our water bottles, and soaked in the atmosphere. This wasn't just a cycling event, the devotional spirit of the Wari was everywhere. Bhajans were playing, people were dancing, the energy was infectious. At this point, 130 kilometers still remained. Fruits and electrolytes. Around 8:45 am, after another 25 kilometers, we reached the next refreshment stop. Fruits, electrolytes, quick recovery, and back on the saddle. 107 kilometers more to go, but now the weather was starting to change. Heat begins its attack. The sun had finally decided to show its full power. The cool morning breeze was gone. The temperature was rising rapidly. Every kilometer started demanding more effort. Thankfully, along the route, volunteers were spraying water on cyclists to help us cool down. That artificial rain felt like heaven. For a few moments, it completely refreshed us. Mid-morning hydration stop. Around 10:30 am, we reached another hydration point. A quick stop, water refill, and some rest, and then onward. Still 86 kilometers left. The toughest part of the day was approaching. Lunch break. After riding through the increasingly harsh heat, we reached the lunch stop around 11:30 am. Finally, some shade, some rest, and a proper meal. We spent some time recovering before heading out again around 12:15 pm. Still around 70 kilometers remained. Mentally, it felt manageable. Physically, it was a different story. Post lunch struggle, the combination of scorching heat and a heavy lunch started showing its effects. I felt sleepy, very sleepy. Every cyclist knows this feeling. The body wants rest, but the destination is still far away. Slowly and steadily, I continued. On the way, we stopped briefly to click some pictures near a beautiful dam. Those small moments helped break the monotony and gave us fresh energy. The toughest section, the final 40 kilometers, were probably the hardest part of the entire ride. We left the highway and entered village road. The road became narrower. Traffic approached from the opposite direction at high speeds. The road surface wasn't great. The afternoon heat was at its absolute peak. By now, the body was tired, the legs were heavy, every pedal stroke required effort. This was no longer a ride, and it had become a test of endurance, the critical hydration stop. Around 4 pm, after another difficult stretch, we reached the next hydration point, and by then the heat had become brutal. The water inside my bottle felt almost like hot tea. Unfortunately, water at the hydration station had also run out. Thankfully, there were electrolytes and fruit juice available. Those few minutes helped me recover enough for the final push. Last 20 kilometers, now came the most exciting part, the final 20 kilometers, also the toughest. We had a deadline. Our group had booked the Tulsi Aarti at the Pandharpur temple, and we needed to reach by 5 pm. The roads were still challenging, the body was exhausted, but the destination was finally within reach. The closer we got, the stronger the motivation became. After one final short water break around 10 kilometers before the finish, it was time to push. No more saving energy, no more holding back, just ride and ride hard. The final 10 kilometers felt endless, yet somehow they passed faster than the previous 100, because now we knew exactly where we were headed. Reaching Pandharpur, at around 5 pm, we finally rolled into Pandharpur. What a feeling! 210 kilometers completed, months of preparation rewarded, dream accomplished. But there was no time to the Aarti, and Vitthal Darshan refreshed and energized, we headed straight to the temple. We attended the evening Tulsi Aarti, followed by Vitthal Darshan. After spending the entire day pushing the body to its limits, standing there in the divine atmosphere of Pandharpur was a truly special experience. The peace, the devotion, the energy. It's difficult to describe in words, it was worth every single kilometer. Evening celebrations, the RT concluded around 8 pm. Afterward, we did some prasad shopping and returned to our accommodation around 8:30 pm. I also collected my finisher medal, which I hadn't managed to collect earlier. Holding that medal in my hand felt incredibly satisfying. It represented not just 210 kilometers, but weeks of preparation, discipline, and perseverance. End of the day. Finally, around 9 pm, we headed out for dinner. Good food, great conversations, lots of laughter, and plenty of stories from the day. By around 10:30 pm, exhaustion finally took over. I went to bed with tired legs, a happy heart, and memories that will last a lifetime. My first Cycle Wari was much more than a cycling event. It was a journey of faith, fitness, friendship, and self discovery. A journey that challenged the body, strengthened the mind, and nourished the soul. If you've watched till the end, thank you for joining me on this incredible adventure. And if you enjoyed this vlog, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until the next adventure, Jai Hari Vitthal.